This is not just a simple practice exercise. This is a challenge for you. And in this challenge, you have to calculate the weight of this model in gram. So all the details and dimensions I have already provided into this technical drawing. So you can check out all the details, dimensions, and use this detail and dimension, and you can prepare this model and let me know the weight in gram into the comment section below. Also in this video, I will be explaining you step by step process to finding a weight of any 3D model. So all these things we'll be doing in Autodesk Fusion. So let's dive into our Autodesk Fusion tool and start modeling this object. Now we are in Autodesk Fusion. So we will start with these two slot shape bases that you can see, that is 15 millimeter thick. We'll start sketching these two slot shapes first into our Autodesk Fusion. So if you are using Autodesk Fusion, you know this tool is a cloud-based CAD CAM tool that you can use for your product modeling and product design projects. So now we are in Autodesk Fusion. So we'll click on this Create a Sketch tool. Then we'll select the plane. I will select this top plane. All our sketch tools are active now. The first thing that we are going to do, we'll activate this line tool and we'll create a line like this. You can see I just created a random line, but this line is not passing through the origin. I can simply drag it and move it anywhere in the space. So the first thing that we'll do, we'll use this midpoint constraint tool and we'll click on the origin and then anywhere onto this line. As you can see, the line just got constrained on the midpoint of this line and with origin. Now I am done with this tool. I will press escape to come out of the tool. So you can follow each steps, each words that I am saying, then you will be able to do things in a right manner. Now I will select this line. I will click on this line to select. We'll change this line to construction line. Very simple. You can see the line just got changed to construction. Now I will activate this sketch dimension tool and we'll click anywhere onto this line and we'll drag outside and we'll give the length of this line. So if you'll see the drawing, actually what I am doing, I am creating a line that will be connecting the center point of this slot and the center point of this slot. So this is the vertical line that I am creating, so on the center basically, and the distance between them is 110. So the line length will be 110. So I will enter the value over here as 110 and will press enter. Now I will simply press escape to come out of the tool. We'll go back to the create panel again and I can find the tool that says center to center slot. So by using this tool, you can create multiple slot shapes. So I will first create the first center of the slot, then we'll go horizontally and we'll create second center of the slot, then we'll drag outside and we'll define its radius. So right now we are randomly creating first two slots like we have in our technical drawings. If you'll see the drawing, we have two slots, the base pads, right? You can see these two are the base slot pads of thickness 15 millimeter. Now we have these two slot sketches ready. Now we'll activate some constraint from this tool. So again, we'll activate this midpoint constraint tool. And this time I will select the end point of our line that we have created and then this center line of this slot, and it will take few seconds and you can see now it is constrained with the midpoint of the center line of this slot. We'll do the same on to the other side, this point and then this line. Now automatically it will constrain onto the midpoint of this center line. So this is what we wanted to do. We'll press escape. We'll drag this dimension towards outside so I can say it a better way. Since we also wants to minimize the number of dimensions we are using in any sketch, so we'll use maximum number of constraints to define our sketches. Now if you'll notice this model, you can see these slots, both the slots are of almost symmetrical, right? So we'll go back, we'll activate this equal constraint tool and we'll apply equal constraint between this arc and this arc. So both of them are equal now, right? You can see just we had applied this equal constraint. You can notice this icon, equal icon, constraint icon over here as well. Now we'll also apply between these two lines. These two lines also I want similar in length, equal in length. So here you can see automatically it got adjusted. Now we'll press escape. We'll activate the sketch dimension tool again and we'll define the length of this line. So this is 115 millimeter. We'll check the drawing, that is 115, and we'll press enter. So since these center line length and the bottom center line length are equal, that's why just by defining one of them, we'll able to define both of them. Right, you can see this is 115 millimeter. Right, now go back to our sketch. Now we'll define the radius of this arc. So we'll click on it, we'll drag outside. So this one is 25. So I will simply enter the value 25, we'll press enter. So since we already defined these two using uh, equal constraint tool, that's why automatically both of them will be 25. So if you select, if you want to check the dimensions or the details for any entity inside your sketch, simply select it, and at the bottom right bottom corner here you can see the length is 25, right, 25 millimeter. As you can see, our sketch is still not fully constrained, not fully defined, because entities into this sketch are still blue. And the reason is because this line should be applied with this horizontal constraint. This line is not perfectly horizontal at this moment, so we'll activate this constraint and we'll click on this line. And now you can see the moment we have applied the horizontal constraint with this line, automatically everything just became black in color. And also if we'll expand our sketch folder from the design tree, you can notice a small red icon, lock icon into this sketch. This means now this sketch is fully defined and we cannot add further dimension to it. There is no need to add any more dimensions. I can simply click on finish sketch if I am done. But before I will click on finish sketch, we also have to add these four holes. Here you can see onto the four two slots, and the dimension, the diameter for that hole is 20 millimeter. So what I will do, I will go on to my create panel, will activate this circle tool, and will create four different circle onto these four different centers like this. So I'm randomly creating circle at this moment. I'm not worrying about the size of it. And once done, just press escape to come out of the tool. Now by pressing shift on your keyboard, you can select all the four circles at once. All four circles are selected. I will apply this equal constraint. This means all four circles are of same size now. Now I will press escape and will activate the sketch dimension tool again and will define the diameter for this circle, and the diameter is 25. I'll press enter. So here you can see that is 525. We'll verify with our technical drawing. So this is not 25, that is 20. So this is how you can edit your dimensions. Simply double click on it. So you will be in the edit mode and change your values. I want to keep it 20, so I just change back to it 20. I will click on finish sketch since my sketch is fully defined as well. Now also I will click on finish sketch. So my sketch is done now. I will click on this home icon over here to go in a 3D view like this. Then we have to add a thickness, right? We have to convert it into 3D, the sketch, the flat sketch we just created, and the thickness is 15 millimeter. So we'll go back to Fusion, we'll activate this tool that says extrude. So just click on the tool to activate, and the moment you will click, a box will open where you have the full control of this tool, right? So the first thing into this is this profiles, right? So profiles are basically the closed areas. So I will select both the closed area, both the profiles that I want to extrude, and here you can see both two are selected. Now I have, you can see this blue arrow that is pointing towards upward. So if we'll drag this arrow, we'll start adding the thickness to it, and you can control the thickness from this box as well. If you want to make it 15, you can just write 15 over here, and this same distance you can also control through this box. Here you can see that says distance. So if we'll change here 20, you can see instantly it is also updating into this box. So you can update these values, this thickness, from anywhere, like from here or from here, it's on to you. I will simply press OK to accept these values, and here you can see this is the first slot pads we created as per our drawing. Now until this point, if you have any doubts, question, queries, just comment below into the video. Now the next feature that we have to create is this circle. You can see that is also having a cut onto the top. So here you can see this circle is having a cut onto the top. So it's basically a cylindrical shape that we will be creating from the center face. Like we'll start from the between two slots and through this plane. So we'll go back to our Fusion. First, I will go back to my design tree and will turn on all the default planes we have. So these are all the planes we have. So now here in this case, we'll be creating the circle onto this plane. So to create that circle, again, we'll start from the sketch. We'll go back and activate this create a sketch tool. Then we'll select this face, this plane as a sketch plane. On this face, we want to create our sketch. So we'll click on it. Now we'll activate our circle tool, right? I will activate the simple circle tool and we'll create a circle like this. So you can create anywhere, right? You don't have to worry about its position orientation. First try to create nearby around that is vertically aligned with this origin, right? Now since you created, and if you'll notice, we also have uh, some kind of thickness, so we have to create two circles with the same origin. So first we'll do that. We'll go back to our design again, we'll activate the circle tool, and using the same origin we'll create another circle, right? And now what I will do, I will make sure that this circle is perfectly horizontally aligned with this origin, because our complete design is symmetrical with respect to this origin. So we'll activate this vertical constraint tool. We'll click on the origin and then we'll click on this origin of our design, and now you can see it is now exactly vertically aligned, right? So using constraint tools we are defining so many positions and features, right? Now let's come about the radius for internal one is 32.5 and outer is 45. So go back to our design. We'll dimension this one as 32.5 and the outer one is 45, like this. The internal is 32.5 and 45, but here we did something wrong. You can notice these are the diameter values we have defined, but we'll see the design here, these are the radius values we have to define. So maybe we have to double down, or maybe we have to decrease these values, right? So we have defined the diameter, double down the value, so we'll make this one 90, right? And this one will make it uh, we can simply write here the multiplication of 2, right? And so that will be 65, and we'll drag this little bit towards upward, right? Now if we'll go back to our design, if you'll notice here the center of this circle should be 50 from the base of the slotted pads, right? So we'll come back to our sketch Fusion. We'll activate the sketch dimension tool, and from the bottom of this slotted pad and to the center this distance should be 50. So I will enter the value 50. Here you can see now the sketch is fully defined, because these were the values only needed to define this sketch, whereas the position we already constrained using this horizontal vertical constraint tool with respect to the origin, and we only have to define its height, like the center point of the circle from the base, and then the diameter values for these two circles. So we already did it, right? Now the next thing that we have to do, we'll activate this line tool and we'll create a line from origin to here, right? Now why I created this line, because if you'll notice the drawing or design, we have cut over here, and the thickness of this cut, sorry, the width of this cut is 15 millimeter. So this is what we are trying to create now. So first we created this line, right? Then what we'll do, we'll simply trim down this line, the bottom portion, right, like this. Or else what you can do, don't trim it, just keep it. So I will just press Ctrl Z to come back, and we'll select this line and we'll use this offset tool. Activate the offset tool. Now here, instead of one side, I will change this to symmetric. Now I want to keep the thickness as 15. So if you drag it, you can see we are getting two offset line uh, with respect to this line, right? But the distance I want it to be 7.5. So one side 7.5, one side 7.5, 7.5. So the total width will be 15 millimeter, and that is what we needed. I will press OK. Now this cylindrical sketch is almost complete, as you can see. Now in this sketch everything is black, still the sketch is not fully constrained, and it's because of these two lines. The length of these two lines are not defined. So what we can do, we can drag these points and we'll attach these points to the circumference of the circle like this. And we'll do the same onto the other side. We'll just drag it and attach to the circumference of the circle, and moment will attach all the 4 points. You can see now sketch is fully constrained. You can see this small red lock icon with our sketch. Now we'll click on finish sketch. Now if we'll go to the home view, here you can see this is the sketch we just created, and this is our profile with a cut at the center of this cylindrical sketch. Now, if you'll go to the technical drawing, you can see the length of this cylinder is 190 millimeter, and also these cylinders are extended from the slots, the base slots from this face by 15 millimeters. So there are two ways we can define its length. Either we define the total length of 190, or else we can extend these by 15 millimeter from the face of these slots on both the sides. So we'll learn both ways. So first, let's activate the extrude tool to convert this profile into 3D, and then we'll select this profile. And now, right now you can see this blue arrow is just pointing in one direction. This means it is one side is selected. We'll change this to symmetric. So now this is pointing in both the directions. So if we'll start adding the thickness, you can see it's getting added on both the sides symmetrically. So this means if I'll extend this by 10, so the total thickness will be 20, because it is extended on both the sides with reference to the plane. So here I will just write 190 divided by 2. So we are getting total 190. Right. Now the problem is, you can see it's cutting the body from the existing body. It's not adding the new cylindrical body, because the operation here is selected as cut by default. So we'll change this operation to join, because we want to join this body with the existing slotted base uh, that we earlier created, right? And now we'll press OK, and here you can see this is what we created. Now the other way to do the same thing is just press Ctrl plus Z to go back. Now the other way to do the same thing is again activate this extrude tool, select the profile. Now here, instead of in the direction, instead of one side, we'll change this to two sides. We'll not make it symmetric this time, we'll change this to two sides. Right, two sides are selected. Now in the first side, that is the highlighted one, that is blue one, on the side one, what we'll do, instead of inputting the distance, we'll change this to object. Now the moment we'll change this to object, we have an option to select an object up to which we want to extend. So first select this face. I will select this face, and you can see the body is getting extended up to this face. First I will change this to join. Now it is getting joined up to this face, but we want to extend it further by 15 millimeter, right? So we'll change this, or what we can do, we can add the value offset over here as 15, and you can see now it is getting extended by 15. We'll do the same on to the other side, that is on direction 2. We'll change this to object, then we'll rotate it like this, and in the direction 2 also I want it up to this face and offset by 15 millimeter. And here you can see the moment I will press OK, you can see we just created this cylindrical shape onto the two slotted base. Now, want to check the dimension whether it is 190 or not, just click on any of the edge, and onto the right bottom corner you can see the length is 190 of this edge. So we are 100% right. Now this feature is also completed. Now move on to the next feature, that is adding these hooks onto the top. So these hooks are very simple. So let's first plan where we'll create the sketch for these hooks. So we'll go back to our Fusion 360 design, and this time we'll be creating a sketch for the hooks onto this face. That is exactly at the center of this cylindrical body. Here you can see that. Now what we'll do, we'll activate the create sketch tool, and then I will select that face to create sketch onto that face. Now the tool is active. Next step, go back to the create panel and activate this center rectangle tool. Simple center rectangle tool. Just don't worry. There are different types of rectangles available. Activate this center rectangle tool only. And since it's a center rectangle tool, first we have to define the center of the rectangle. Let's say we'll start from over here. You can select any random point in the beginning, and then create a rectangle like this. Simple. Now I want this rectangle to be perfectly vertically aligned with respect to this origin, and for that, to align both the centers, we will use this constraint, that is vertical constraint. We'll activate this one. From this point, I just want them vertical. Now they are completely vertical. Now let's add a circle onto the midpoint of the top edge of this rectangle. Just snap onto the midpoint, and then create a circle like this that is touching onto the end point of the rectangle like this. Here you can see we just added a circle like this, and we'll add another circle. So this circle is for the hole. If you'll see the hook, we have the holes also. Now let's add dimensions. So dimensions, if you'll notice over here, the diameter for the inside circle is 37.5, and for the outside circle is radius is 37.5. So diameter will be 2 times of 37.5. So let's do that. Activate this sketch dimension tool. Dimension this one as 37.5 and this one as 37.5 multiplied by 2, and press enter like this. Here you can see. Now the height, the center point of these circles, if you'll notice from the bottom edge of the slotted base that we have created, the distance is 125, right? So we have to define that as well. From the center, let's activate the tool, sketch dimension, select the center, select the base, then drag outside and define this distance as 125. Press enter. Now here we have a small trick. We don't want to extend this face up to this point. So for that, what we'll do, we'll change the visual style of our drawing first. So right now the visual style, if you go to the display settings, and the visual style right now is shaded with visible edges only. So we'll change this to shaded with hidden edges also. So now you can see the hidden edge. Now we'll adjust and drag this bottom edge of the rectangle. We'll keep it little bit above this edge that is hidden right now. So and we'll also define the distance from this edge to this point. I just want to keep it just 1 millimeter, 1, and press enter like this. So now our sketch is fully defined. You can also verify that under the design tree the sketch is fully defined. I can click on finish sketch. Now if you orbit it or rotate it, you can see where we created the sketch, that just at the mid plane of this cylindrical slot section, right? It's 100% on the mid plane, because we had used these three default planes and our complete body is completely symmetrical with respect to these three planes. Now we'll activate the extrude tool again and we'll select the profiles that we want to extrude. So I want to extrude these and these. We don't want to extrude this one because this is a whole, if we'll refer to the technical drawing, right? So we just selected these three faces. Now under the direction, first option is the start. So we are not going to start from this plane. If you'll notice into this, they are starting 25 millimeter apart from each other, right? So if you'll measure it from the center, that will be 12.5. So here in the start, instead of profile plane, I will change this to offset, and here I will write the value 12.5, that is half of 25, right? And then I will enter the distance, that is 15 millimeter, that the thickness that we want to apply. But again it is making a cut, so to make it as a join, to add a body, I will make it the operation as join. I'll press OK. So we'll wait for a few seconds, and here it is. Here is the result. Now it is being created on the one side only. First we'll change the visual style back to shaded with visible edges, so we can see it clearly. Now we want this same feature onto this side as well, and for that we'll go back to the create panel and activate this new tool, that is mirror tool. Activate this tool mirror, sorry, activate this tool mirror, and then select the object that you want to mirror. So instead of selecting the object, I will select this feature, right? So you can see feature option was activated over here, then I selected this feature because this is the feature that we have used to create this shape, right? Now we'll select the mirror plane. So definitely the mirror plane is this vertical plane where we created the sketch, and now you can see the preview. So at this point also, if you're not getting the right preview, you can cancel it, right? But here we are getting the correct preview. So I will simply press OK, and the moment I will press OK, here you can see we just finished our design. Now I will just simply turn off the origin, and you can see this is the body we created by following all the details from our technical drawing. Now if you'll expand the bodies folder, you can see this is our body one. Now the model we just finished. Now I will show you how we can calculate the weight of your model, right? Because here we also have to specify some material. So in our case, we are going to use some different material, so you cannot simply just copy the weight and paste it into the comment. So let me show you how we can apply some material onto our body. It's very simple. Go to the modify section, and here you can see the physical materials option. Activate it. Now Fusion have so many different kind of materials already added over here into the library by default. So let's go back to the plastic material, and we'll use this ABS plastic. So we'll simply click on the material and drag it and leave it onto the body, and you can see this material just got applied onto our body. As you can see, for this ABS plastic, the color is white, and this is also white right now. I will close it. Now the material just got applied, ABS plastic. Now it's the time to calculate the weight of this model. So it's very simple. Go to the design tree again, expand your body folder, select the body, make a right click, and click on this properties panel. And here you can notice the weight of this model, that is 877.841 gram right now for this ABS plastic material. And this is how you can calculate the weight of your design for this challenge. And you can just copy this mass or weight, whatever you call it, and write it into the comment section below. This is your task. So if you're following this video, if you're watching this video up to this point, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because we'll keep posting contents like this about CAD design, 3D printing, and so many more stuff related to this domain. So thank you so much guys for watching this complete video. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep learning.